Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday night, 11/11, my friends, 8:30 p.m. We are Draft for Upside. We are going to be talking golf. We're going to talk football. We got the whole damn crew here tonight. It's so exciting. Adam, is that your name? Adam? I'm struggling. Is it Adam? Is that right?
Hang on.
How are you, man?
I think so. Let me pull my license out.
Yeah.
Good. How you guys doing? Happy to be back on with y'all.
Oh, man. I love it.
We're looking for you on milk cartons and all kinds of stuff.
Well, I am drinking a delicious Night Fury that Mr. Danger was kind enough to give me.
Oh, it's a beautiful beer. What did I give you? The French toast?
The French toast. You gave me... Yeah, I think that's what it is. So anyway, I'm not on milk cartons, but I'm drinking French toast milk beer. So
I like it. I got a beer. I figured the Masters deserved a beer. I got me a little Witch's Hat Brewing Company Fear of the Dark. This particular variant is a black barley wine aged in smoked rye whiskey barrels with smoked heirloom pumpkins, because I'm a basic bitch.
No, I'm the basic bitch. I'm drinking my Founder's Mosaic Promise.
I like it. Justin Lewis watching live. How are you, Jay Lou? He's been bugging all day about some Masters knowledge, Adam. So he's going to be asking some questions, all right?
Sounds good. Chris, you drinking anything, bud?
Yeah, man. I've got a little bit Last Snow here from Funky. Actually, this is where my camera is now. I was looking at my mic. Some Last Snow. It's a coconut coffee porter. Think like it's a Liquid Mounds bar. It used to be really, really good. Now it's just really, really good. Like it's not as good, but it's still good.
Pumpkin beer. Weird. Dig it.
All right. Well, who's got a pumpkin beer? You got a pumpkin beer?
I do. Yeah.
No.
Rye whiskey, barrel aged, 13% alcohol, black barley wine, pumpkin. It's a beast. It's smoky. Smoky. Well, let's run thing straight out. I already lost my budget for LOL on the year this morning, whatever it was. So that $10 is gone.
Yeah, well, when you got a $10 budget, it's not gonna work.
But I was awake at 3 a.m. I should have just gone downstairs and turned it on and watched with you live, man.
Yeah, I decided not to watch last night. I woke up at 3. I made my lineups, or I woke up a little bit before you sent the message, and then I went back to sleep. I was like, screw it. I'm gonna wake up tonight though, or this morning, whatever it is.
I dig it. All right, Justin drinking a little Founder's Imperial Stout, 2016. Good stuff. All right, well, we did our Masters breakdown on Friday night. That was fun, guys. Dr. Roto joined us for a little while. That was pretty cool. And we got into it pretty well, so there's no real need to break it down. Let's just kind of go through since Friday and kind of figure out where we landed. I'll start, guys. I pretty much landed on DJ and Xander at the top. Decided to kind of fade Bryson. Look away from Justin Thomas. I bet him outright at the beginning of the year, like whatever it was, like 66-1 at the beginning of the season. So I figured we'll just let that play. But yeah, man, I mean, DJ and Xander for me, that's my top two guys. I'm building them into my main GPP. I'm going to do that. I'm going to max out that 25-cent 20 max lineup and get a little weird, but those two guys will probably be in about 33 to 40% of those lineups. That's where I'm starting. Chris, did you get into any golf research this week?
No, I mean, I wasn't even going to play because, I don't know. I just hate seeing the golf lineups sit there for 4 days. But apparently I did something, and DraftKings gave me a couple free tickets. So I have opened up my golf model, and I am going to look for Kevin Na and then fill it out from there.
For sure. Mark, did you who'd you end up really doubling down on? Are you playing just one entry? Are you going to do a few entries? How did you work out?
I'll probably end up with about 10 entries. Mm-hmm. It's the Masters, so you got to splurge a little bit.
Heck yeah.
But my main combo, my main stars and scrubs lineup, I am going with DJ and Patrick Cantlay at the top.
Ooh, doubling down on DJ with me. I dig it. All right. Mr. Adam, you've had some time since Friday night. I know that this is your bag, man. I'm looking at your posters in the background. Very nice. You got a little Caddyshack. You got the Masters flag. I like that.
We got the Master flag.
Yep.
And then we've got the legend, Carl Spackler, accepting his green jacket. Cinderella story from Arnie and Jack. So I'm in the spirit, man. I'm in the spirit. It's weird to see the weather turning cold instead of turning warm. But here we are. It's November, and the Masters is starting tomorrow. So we're going to roll with it. I'm totally fine with it. 2 Masters in like 5 months. Sounds good to me.
So, Adam, is this your office over at Measured Golf?
It is. Yeah. Totally clad with Masters gear, a whole bunch of golf-related stuff, and other miscellaneous able the rest of the facility is out behind the door.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, buddy.
Are you able to like televise like games on those big projection screens?
We have Measured Golf Masters viewing parties coming up on Saturday and Sunday. And there will be, so there's 3 projector screens. We'll have simulator golf going on the outside too. And then on the big projector screen in the middle, we'll have the Masters coverage going.
Well, awesome. I was also thinking maybe on like, I don't know, December 27th when I'm in town, like, get a huge red zone kind of, so we're not wandering around Royal Oak and, like that.
And Chris, Measured Golf is directly connected to Wolverine State Brewing Company.
I just had a beer dinner over there right before we came on.
Do you have like water fountains that pour the beer out?
No, but there's servers that'll bring us beer over. So.
Good enough.
I dig it. Yeah, as long as my COVID test comes back negative, maybe I'll show up on Sunday, hang out with you there, Adam.
There you go. Got an RSVP, though. We're trying to limit the number due to that COVID thing.
Of course, my man. Of course. All right. Well, who you got at the top end here? We'll go through a few picks. We're not going to get crazy, but we've talked about who we like at the top. Where did you end up most of your exposure at the top end there, Adam? My
stance has changed a little bit at the very top. So I'm actually fading the top 4. And I guess this is a theme of the show for Draft for Upside. I'm starting with DJ. So DJ at 10,000, I think he's just underpriced. I think there's a very chance he top 5s. He's been absolutely on fire, and he's been playing very well at the Masters here the last couple of years too. Finished 2nd last year. 10th year before, 2017 was when Paulina threw him down the stairs because he had slept with a different chick and she didn't know about it or something. That whole thing when he kept winning everything and then didn't get his chance to win the Masters. And then from there, I do like Xander a lot. And the guy that's going extremely overlooked is Brooks Koepka. The guy's a machine in majors. His form is coming around. He's finally healthy again. And his boy Bryson, not so much his boy, is getting all the attention, and he doesn't like that so much. So I love Brooks with a little chip on his shoulder.
I mean, who do you think would win in an arm wrestling competition? Brooks, Bryson, or me?
Kevin Na.
I'd probably go with Brooks.
All right. Well, that's good enough for me.
I dig it. All right, man. Well, it's weird. It's never a good thing when we're in agreement. You know that, right? That almost never works out.
It's definitely scaring me a little bit. But I'm not gonna come off it. Good plays are good plays, and DJ at 1,000 is a great play. I'd pay more for him than I would for JT. I like Rahm. There's been too much attention on him. Mark, do you have the ownership pulled up by chance?
I'm looking for it now.
Projections. Perfect. Rahm also made that sweet hole-in-one, skipping it off the pond on 16 yesterday in the practice round, which was pretty legit.
Yeah, I actually moved a couple of those 20 lineups to Rahm that more than I had just because of that. Because, I mean, how can you just not be jacked up about that?
Well, I mean, that's like
fading him.
You peak.
So DJ, 2 of my favorite picks are at the top. DJ at 24% and Tony Finau at 23.7%.
I don't mind the DJ. It's fine. You're going to eat some chalk. I mean, what do they say? Only 20, 25 guys have a real chance at winning this thing, as they historically say.
You got to eat some chalk in this.
Right. All right. Moving on down the line. In that kind of 8,000 up range, my clear favorite guy for me, Jason Day. I just love his game. I love where he fits in with this course. And, Matt Wolff is there. But it's like, man, guys that haven't been here, I have a hard time putting money on him. I like Hideki, but if his putter falls apart, it's just no good. So yeah, probably Finau, Day, and I do like Ricky Fowler. That's kind of where I'm at in the 8,000s. Mark?
Yeah, Finau was my pick. I might take him out of a couple of lineups based on that ownership. And I love Hideki. He's been playing great. Like you said, his putter may fail him. But I don't know. His ball striking's been just on right now. Last week we talked about Matthew Wolff. I've come off of him mostly because he's never played here before, and Augusta just eats up rookie golfers. So
if you go back and look through the history of Masters winners, there's a couple of things that I noticed that stand out outside of like Tiger every time he won, and a few other instances. The flat out number one guy going in Vegas like doesn't win. Doesn't mean they don't finish top of the line, but they don't win. Also, who doesn't win is players who've never really been in contention in a major don't win. So I kind of eliminated rookies from most of my lineups, except for a flyer here or there. And I've pretty much eliminated anybody who hasn't played well in the prime time, in the big events, in the Players' Championship. It's just one of those courses. You just go back and look through the history, and it's plain and obvious, man. It's people who can shine in the spotlight. It's people who have the head game to handle Masters in major tournaments, and it's people who've been here before.
And it's almost always, and it's different when it's in April because there's such a small amount of tournaments before the Masters, but almost always the rule is if you haven't had at least 2 top 10s that year leading up to the Masters, you're probably not going to win the tournament. Like every single Master champion has had at least 2 top 10s in that same season leading up to it. A little different twist because it's in the fall, but you still want guys who are in good form.
Yeah. Justin Lewis says, will the lack of fans be less hard on first timers like Wolff?
I think it'll be easier without the fans there. I mean, this is the biggest major, and having the fans, I think, just adds a little bit of pressure. So I think it'll be a little bit easier. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference, though. This is still the Masters. It's still Augusta. So,
and
Adam,
then he
what
wants
do you
to
think?
know how you feel about Adam Scott as a pivot off of Finau with the ownership.
I think Adam Scott's just overpriced. His form hasn't been great lately. He's finished just okay here the last couple of years at Augusta. I don't know. I'm not really interested in him at 8,900. It's a little bit too expensive for me. I do like Matsuyama a lot, though. I'd be curious to hear what his ownership projection looks like. And then Casey's a guy who's kind of that old grizzled veteran. His form hasn't been great lately, but he's played well historically at Augusta. I don't know. I could see myself getting on Casey and 10% of lineups by tomorrow morning.
So Hideki is at 17% projected right now.
Yeah, I would take the ownership discount there on him over Finau.
Guys, I'm not really interested in. I'm not really interested in Tiger. Adam Scott, you're right. I think it's too expensive. If you've got 9,000, I mean, you could hop up to Patrick Reed or Simpson, or stick right there with Hideki. I'm not really interested in Tommy Fleetwood. I don't think he's shown me that he's got what it takes this year. I liked Sergio before he COVIDed himself out.
Sergio.
Yeah. All right, moving on down. We've kind of gone through this breakdown already, so just kind of highlighting the guys that we tend to fall on. So down in the 7,000s, I catch myself a ton of Louis O and Matt Fitzpatrick. Those are kind of my guys in that 7K range. A little bit of Kuchar because I feel like he's just a veteran who is not going to shy away from the challenge. That's kind of where I landed in the 7,000s. What do you think, Adam?
I'm with you on Louis. Like Double O is just going to come out, guns blazing. He's just a very steady pick at that. He's underpriced. If Adam Scott's overpriced, he's underpriced. I would not have been shocked to see them at the same price or very similar. I don't like Fitzpatrick though, man. He has not shown it in the majors. He's shown good form this year, but I think it's a sucker bet. I'm not interested in Fitz at all.
I don't know. Him and Kokrak are like neck and neck in my model around like 10th.
Kokrak's a first timer and he has no short game though. That's my biggest concern with him. He doesn't know the course. He doesn't know where to miss it around the greens. And then when he puts himself in those bad spots, he's going to make a lot of doubles.
And Kokrak is projected to be 19% owned.
Yeah. He's a long bomber, and people are all over that right now.
I can see the ball striking skill set, but he does not have the short game to contend or do anything that you need there. 7K, I get it, but there's better values down here.
All right, and then any other of those guys you were really on besides Louis in that 7K range? It's kind of a wasteland. I'm not really into Woodland. Cam Smith's been a little hot, but not interested. And Shane Lowry could blow up any single day, so not in there.
There are a couple guys down in the low seven. Like, I agree with you, between 7,800 at Scotty Scheffler all the way down to Abe Answer at 74. That's just a dead zone for me. But the guy who's trending really well lately, who's sucking me back in, had a great Sunday to finish 5th a couple of years ago, was Cam Smith at 7,300. And then Dr. Roto talked about it last week on the show. Lee Westwood, if you want a veteran who knows the course, who's very unlikely to make the cut, go with Lee Westwood. It's not exciting. You don't expect him to win or have a chance to come Sunday, but you probably know what you're getting with him. It's going to be somewhere around 15th to 30th.
Speaking of the cut, I want to make sure it was clear. It was announced yesterday they will not be doing 10 strokes within the leader. They are going to cut top 50 in ties.
Okay.
Yeah, makes it a little bit tougher.
Back to
so
Westwood,
Adam, I was right there with you. My favorite's Louis, and then I have a lot of Cam Smith and Lee Westwood. I love it.
God, now I'm concerned.
Right?
There's too much love here on this show. We got to get into it here. It's a major.
Well, we had time after our breakdown to think about stuff, and we're not just shooting off the hip here. Here's what I'm going to tell you right here, though, is the guy for me in the 6,000s is Siwoo Kim, and I'll tell you why. You want to know why?
Nope.
He's available on Cameo, so I want to win big with him in the lineup, so I can get him to come on the show on Cameo and drop a video for us.
Okay.
I think we talked about that before, did we not?
I had Rex Burkhead in my tipsy picks and then deleted it, and when he hit 3 touchdowns, and he's on Cameo, but I lost all my money, so I didn't want to pay him to do that. That would have been awesome. Oh, well. So I struggle down here, man. Siwoo Kim, fine. He's competed in majors. Zach Johnson right there next to him, fine. Kevin Na, obviously. Schwartzel, who's won here before. I don't know, man. I'm lost. Enlighten me down here now that you've had time to really break it down and look at it.
Sub 7K?
Sub 7K.
I don't dislike the Siwoo call at all. He's a birdie maker. He's shown he can contend in big events. He won the Players at age 21, so he's shown he can do it. Don't call me a sucker for this. I can't get off this guy, but Corey Connors, man, he played in his first Masters or second Masters last year and finished 46th, which isn't super flashy, but you're 6,600. What do you want? So
I liked him Friday night.
Yeah, you already mentioned Schwartzel too. He's
quit stealing all my guys, Adam.
Gosh, man, we got to differentiate here. The one guy I do like that I came across and recalled him playing really well in a couple majors, including the Masters last year, though, is Justin Harding. Guy uses the gross Adam Scott long putter, but he hits it long, he hits it high, which you're going to need this week because the greens are going to be firmer than usual. And from what I hear, the fairways are not as firm as you might expect because they actually had to overseed them, and the first bounce is not going to be firm like it normally is in April if it hasn't been raining. So there's going to be some long grind to the greens for the guys who aren't like Bryson, DJ, Brooks, and those absolute bombers. So Justin Harding's a guy I can get on board with at 6,300 for sure. But those 4 guys really, you don't need to go super deep in the 6K range.
What about Japanese superstar Shugo Imahira?
No, thank you. I was trying to think on the spot how to say that in Japanese, but I had no chance.
Yeah. All right. Who was it? Was it Doc that mentioned Bernard Langer?
Yeah.
He did. I think he mentioned him more he was talking about on FanDuel though, where you pick 7 golfers and he goes like full stars and scrubs, where he gets like 3 or 4 stars in there, and it just goes.
Because
Yeah,
you
get to
drop one,
your low
isn't
score.
it? Is
Yeah.
FanDuel still doing the drop one?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I used to do
Nice.
FanDuel too for golf. I've gotten away from that, but that was kind of a fun format too.
All right, fair enough, guys. Let's wrap it up. Any more nuggets of wisdom, Adam? What are you most looking forward to watching? Which pairing tomorrow morning?
Honestly, I just want to see. I want to see what Bryson's ridiculous power gains do around Augusta and how he kind of chooses to strategize his way around the course. I don't know what it's going to be like. I've never seen it before, so it's going to be interesting. CH3 home course guy. No, thank you. God, he was on the Tour Junkies podcast last week. That guy is so annoying to listen to.
Ha!
I hate his voice. I've never liked him since he won the Milwaukee Open. I think was his first tournament, and he took a sip of beer. And granted, it was like Milwaukee's best, so it wasn't good beer. But he took a sip, and he was like, "It's bitter," and I've just never respected him. Don't hate on beer like that, you know?
Don't hate on beer. All right, guys, let's move along. I'm excited, but let's get out there. We have a divisional game tomorrow night. Indianapolis Colts heading to Tennessee Titans, 48.5, and it is currently a picket, according to what I'm looking at here. I have a lineup in contention for the Monday-Thursday, so I'm pretty excited about that, although I missed on Perryman, but, oh well. So I'm probably not going to win the 10K on that, but I could finish top 10. There's only one guy that has the same amount of quarters left as I do, and he's ahead of me because he has Perriman, and I had the New England defense. So he's probably got the same. He's probably got AJ Brown or Davis. He's probably got Henry, just like I do. So I don't know. Probably not going to get him. Say what?
Do the math and figure it out.
Yep, I'm going to do that for sure. So right now I'm kind of stuck on, do I play Ty and Wilkins, or do I play Taylor and Marcus Johnson? So, and then I'm choosing between AJ Brown and Corey Davis, depending on AJ Brown's final health status. I think he's in. But just checking it out. What do you think of this game? I mean, Indianapolis has been really locked down on defense, Chris. I mean, they've really been knocking it out of the park. But Tennessee's at home. It's a divisional game. I think Tennessee wants to have a statement win here to really solidify their lead on that division. What do you think?
I mean, they really haven't had a murderer's row of running backs. I mean, the most impressive game that they had in terms of reduction of the norm was Dalvin Cook in week 2, who ran for a touchdown and 63 yards, but only on 14 carries. Outside of that, I mean, David Montgomery, Frank Gore, Kareem Hunt without Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon. None of these guys really have big games, but I don't expect a lot of these guys to have big games on a regular basis. So I think that their defense is definitely for real, but, I like Henry in this game. I think that anytime he's on a showdown slate, you kind of have to consider captaining him. And if you're not, then, obviously you go to what we've always said is Ryan Tannehill. I mean, one or the other. That offense has done very well. I don't know. It's going to break at some point. Indianapolis is not going to have this lockdown defense that lasts all year.
Well, if you read the Prize Picks article, I kind of picked it as Tennessee running away with it in this game. That's kind of how I feel about it. Mark, what do you think here?
I don't really have any thoughts on this game at all. I have not looked at it.
Fair enough, man. Thank you for the input.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
That was impressive.
Yeah, very nice. The only thing I will say of note here is, let's see, it's not up here yet, is it? It's not in here. Of course it's not in here. Got to find it. What's his name? They just brought over a cornerback. They traded for him at the deadline, and he will be in for Tennessee. They have been pretty bad against wide receivers, but they have upped to that ante with a trade, and I'm blanking on the dude's name. This should be his first start. So I'm thinking T.Y. Hilton in the middle, running slot routes, is going to be my guy. So I think I'm going to go T.Y. Hilton and Wilkins in my Monday, Thursday, where I'm still making decisions.
It's a good way to differentiate. I can't play TY.
No, TR is done, dude. He's washed. We're never going to see another game out of him. He's terrible.
No, we're gonna get one more, and it's gonna be tomorrow night.
I don't think so. Are you sure he's running out of the slot now? Is this a thing? Did I miss this in the midst of all the 50-yard games that he's had?
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm grasping at straws here, Chris. Come on now.
I don't know. You keep asking me, should I play TY? Of course, the answer is no. You should not play TY. Why is this even an option? Wilkins and Taylor, they're both terrible picks. You know who else is a terrible pick? T.Y. Hilton. So go with the other one. I mean, come on. How'd you pigeonhole yourself into playing these terrible 2-offs? Like,
just because I was bored and decided to throw one out there. It happens. It happens. All right, let's have more fun. Let's talk about Tampa Bay heading into Carolina. 50.5 is the point total there. 5-point favorite are the Buccaneers. Tom Brady really just took a dump on primetime, man. Do you think he comes back here? I mean, Carolina is worse against the run than the pass. What do you think here, Adam? Does Tom Brady bounce back?
Of course he does. He's the greatest quarterback of all time, and he's playing against a soft defense. Let's go.
Let's go, Tom Brady.
I know Chris
Adam
agrees.
Adam, really? Best of all time. Best of all time.
I mean, the thing is, though, he's not. I mean, and we know this, that he's not a clutch quarterback throughout his career. He's had problems on primetime, nationally televised games, and that's just been never more evident than this year. So I think what we've kind of learned throughout this year is that the Patriots' success was a combination of Belichick and Brady. Belichick was really the primetime genius, while Brady was the guy that really could get it done on Sundays. And when you mix them together, it kind of hid each other's flaws.
Whatever you got to tell you, man.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Let's talk about the running back game there, though. Fournette, or is this a Ronald Jones kind of game?
Against the Panthers, it's a toss-up. I think they're gonna split the touches, so it's kind of a coin toss. I don't think I'm gonna go anywhere near the running game in this game. I don't think I'm going to play much on the Buccaneers side because now they have Antonio Brown. And so who are you going to play for a receiver? Brady's got so many targets now.
You play Brady by himself.
You could.
Naked Brady. Everyone wants to see that.
I think that what we've seen from Tampa Bay in terms of the distribution of the passes is something that makes it difficult to roster any of these wide receivers when they're all healthy. You have Gronk that's come in and been more of a force in the last couple of weeks. Now Antonio Brown's there. Mike Evans isn't getting any passes. It's going to be kind of just guess the guy, because I think a flurry of passes are going to go to one guy every single week, and he's going to be the right guy to play, but there's 4 or 5 of them to pick. In terms of the 2 running backs in this game, we've seen Ronald Jones lose his starting job or lose the majority of the snaps anytime he fumbles the ball. He fumbles the ball quite frequently. This happens a lot. So when Fournette is healthy, that is a significant risk. Now, we don't know if Ronald Jones is going to be the guy that's going to get first crack at those snaps. Last week, he played 32% of the snaps, whereas Fournette played 67%. But I think Fournette's more of the pass catching back, the third down back, and they were down big for the majority of the game. So I don't know if we can take a look at last week's snap count as any type of indication. I'm with Mark in this. I don't really see any reason to attack the Carolina defense all that much. I mean, again, there's just a lot of guys to go around. It's a divisional matchup. It's going to be outside. I think this is the second time these teams have played. There's one and only one player in this game that I have any interest in, and he's the free square of the week, 4K Mike Davis on the Carolina side of things.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I picked him up in the seasonal league. Luckily, the one that I have both Monty and David Johnson with concussions. So if one of them can get through, I'll be pretty happy. But Mike Davis is a nice ad for the week. I will say that. All right, let's move on.
Out or something?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hurt shoulder. He's out this week.
Yeah. All right, let's move along. Houston Texans heading to Cleveland, 50.5 again. 3-point favorites are the Browns. I don't know, Mark. Go ahead. Hit me.
I'm kind of leaning towards the Texans here. Chubb is back. So that kind of brings down Kareem Hunt's value a little bit.
I mean, does it though? I mean, Kareem Hunt was absolutely atrocious after Chubb left. I mean, his price was a lot lower before, but he has done nothing. He's caught less passes than Derrick Henry, I think, since Chubb's been out. Maybe this opens up some work for him in the passing game, but he's still pretty.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you got OBJ out, and Higgins has kind of disappeared, so maybe Hunt gets a little play outside.
Yeah, since OBJ went out, I mean, I know Cleveland, I don't know, it's a mix. Cleveland just, I don't see a player who's going to make my lineup just stand out and jump up in a GPP or anything. You know what I mean? So, but on the Houston side, I think they got something to prove. Deshaun's playing really well right now. But David Johnson's out, so that hurts the running game, right?
Possibly out.
I mean, I don't know.
Probably out.
Last week, production for Duke Johnson was kind of where you expected David Johnson to have it. So you play your DJ. We all like DJ. So this is a little different DJ. You just got to figure out who's your DJ. I don't have a problem playing Duke Johnson. I like this game as a game stack. It is difficult to kind of figure out who you're going to play on the Cleveland side. There's not a clear, concise guy. I mean, Jarvis Landry or Rashard Higgins, one of these tight ends, maybe a little David Njoku because he's got a cool name. I mean, I like thinking that it rolls off your tongue. But yeah, I mean, I like the Houston side of things. I don't know if I feel like they should be the dogs in this situation.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. And I have to remember that O'Brien's gone now, who never used Duke Johnson the way he should have. So,
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. So, it's hard to kind of pinpoint Cleveland, but these are the points allowed by this Houston defense. 25 to the Jags, rookie Luton, 35 to Green Bay. It should have been 57 or something crazy. 42 to Tennessee, 14 to Jacksonville, 31 to Minnesota, 28 to the Steelers, 33 and 34. This defense is bad. It allows points. You don't have to be good to score points on this defense, as can be witnessed from the game last week. And they're going to give up points. You just have to figure out who it is and put them in your lineup. And I think that it's a prime spot for a run back. Brandon Cooks is super cheap. Has been just going off, and obviously Watson is going to produce something. So, I don't know if you full on game stack this, but a Watson to Cooks running it back with Landry, it's fine by me.
Landry.
Jarvis.
I will say this was marked when I looked through this about half an hour before the show as the first of possibly my 5 best bets. I thought Houston +3 was a really nice spot. Just jumped right off the page. All right, moving on. For some reason, I don't have any stats on this game. It's missing from my list. So Washington football team heading to Detroit. Who's got the spread and whatnot on that?
It looks like Detroit is going to be 3.5 point favorites right now.
All right, we'll take Washington.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know. It's one of those situations where I have to listen to this sports radio here in Washington, D.C., and I kind of avoided it for 2 weeks because they beat Dallas, went through the bye week. I just had to listen to how that they could win this division, and the tone has certainly changed after losing to the Giants. But there are pieces in this game that you want to get. You want to go to Terry McLaurin. He's probably going to do some fantastic things, or should, against the Lions. It's just the problem is you have Alex Smith as the quarterback, and that hurts his air yards. It certainly hurts his air yards because Alex Smith doesn't have that arm. He basically doesn't even have legs anymore. He's just a torso and a brain at this point. He's still good looking. Don't get me wrong. I would trade a lot of things with him. Bank accounts, hair, muscular physique, just not my leg. That's it. But anyway, I don't know. I like the Lions in this, but I don't want any part of it. I don't want to watch it. I'm probably gonna watch it. I don't want to play part of DFS in it, and I'm not. So look, I can only control so much, and that's the part I'm probably gonna control. It's an Adrian Peterson revenge game too. So Nick Stevens, it's all you, buddy.
They didn't work for Detroit, Minnesota, so.
Yeah, but that was, I mean, look, he's had that revenge game. That's old news. Washington decided not to keep him this year.
I'll be
Washington plus
stacking
3.5, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to be stacking Alex Smith and touchdown Terry because they're going to get 3 touchdowns, and Gibson's probably going to run in 2. The Lions suck.
They're brutal.
They are brutal.
Oh, I'm with you. That's one of those ones where you stack up one team, you don't even run it back. Screw the Lions.
Yeah, who are you going to run it back with on the Lions? If I could, I'd run it back with Stafford if pick 6s counted.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Marvin Jones has 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games on 11 targets. That's, I mean, it's a 25% touchdown rate per target.
Actually, the run back in this will be Hawkinson. He's actually starting to get targets and starting to score. So,
and I think Galladay's supposed to come back too.
Yeah, Stafford can't get him the ball.
I mean, he's got him the ball every single time that he's played. The problem isn't Stafford when it's Galladay. Galladay has no separation. Neither does Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
Let's hold some accountability here on everybody but Stafford.
Yeah. That Galladay, man, he makes those catches, but you're right. They're contested. They're beautiful. They're fun to watch. But, yeah, he doesn't run away from anybody, does he? No. True story. All right, moving on. Jacksonville Jaguars heading to Green Bay. Green Bay's got a 13-point spread here. 13 points. 50.5 is the over and under. Yeah, man. I mean, Green Bay's been smoking. I'm very happy to have Adams and Rodgers on my prime fantasy team. It's worked very well for me. I continue to hope that works well for me this week. And I also have James Robinson on that team. So this should be a fun game to watch. And I'll probably play several lineups with those 3 guys and just have a fun Sunday. That's my thoughts there. Adam, what do you think here, man? You've been watching these Packers. You enjoy watching this team?
I haven't watched a ton of football this year, to be completely honest, but I do know the Packers offense has been rolling. And Devontae, in particular, the last 2 weeks has been ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Now that you got that setup down there, man, I expect you to just be like wowing out on Sundays watching football now that you're set up and ready to go.
It's been more that way the last week.
Let me ask you a question. You have those giant simulator screens, right? So what you got to do is get the picture-in-picture where you got the football game up in the corner while you're hitting balls into the simulator. That's
actually a good call.
I know, right? I'm a genius. That's my one idea of the week. That's it. It's over.
Entertainment genius.
It's done. This is kind of a no-brainer game for me. The guys to pick here. Chris, anything out of the ordinary here, or is this just don't think too hard about it? Play the guys that are going to score.
Yeah, I'm playing the top guys here. I'm playing Devontae Adams or I'm playing Aaron Jones. I'm playing one or the other. One note about the previous game that we kind of glanced over, and Marky had said something about Antonio Gibson. That's great, but when Alex Smith has been in, J.D. McKissick has been the guy that's playing most of the snaps. He's getting a ton of passes. He might be the guy that you actually want to look at as opposed to Antonio Gibson.
That's actually a good call because whenever you play the Lions, all the secondary people score. So.
Well, he's not even the secondary person. It's just that's who Alex Smith seems to be comfortable with. I mean, he got 14 targets last week.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't see that.
And then when Alex Smith was in, he had 8 targets, played the majority of the snaps. It's not because he's pass blocking or anything like that. He's just a kind of an outlet pass for Alex Smith. So
that's a good call.
All right, well, back to the Green Bay game. I got to see if Lazard is back, but I like him a little bit if he's back. But, yeah, man, it's just Adams. It's Rodgers. Aaron Jones, possibly, if he's healthy and ready to go. The other side, it's James Robinson for me. I guess you could play Chark. You could try to get cute with Keelan Cole and see if he has another good game. I don't know. It's Luton again, right? We're sticking with Luton.
What was Chark's targets last week? At least it felt like Luton was throwing to him a ton.
He had 12 targets.
Yeah. Okay.
Seems like it's just kind of a throw it to Chark plan for them. But, Yeah, I mean, it's fine. You can score on the Packers. You just aren't going to keep up with them. So,
yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, if you're Luton, I think you realize that, hey, look, Chark's like the best player on this team. He's the established second-year veteran. I mean, it is the second year, right? He's second-year veteran.
Yeah, second year. Yeah.
Something like that. And he was obviously very critical of Minshew and getting him the ball. So if I'm Luton and I want to keep my job, regardless of whether we win, play good, or whatever, I'm just throwing it to Chark and hoping that he has my back as I'm beating him. So I think that is an accurate assessment to play him 6,200. We talk all the time about Keenan Allen. I'm sure we're going to have something to say about him again, and how he gets double-digit targets, and we like him under 7K. It's the same type of situation. Somebody's going to get 10 targets, irregardless, as long as they're not coming from like Joe Flacco or something like that. They should be in that 7K range or higher.
Man, James Robinson, I just flipping through here, just getting pissy at him stopping at 99 yards and not getting that bonus last week.
Yeah, it's just irresponsible. I mean, you have to know where you are in terms of the DK bonuses, and you have to make sure that your guys get there. And so it's all the reason for Doug Marrone to be fired. That's just inexcusable. I think it's the reason Bill O'Brien was actually let go, because of the whole David Johnson, the 94 yards like 2 times. It's just inexcusable, and we're not going to tolerate it.
All right, moving on. Let's head over to Philadelphia Eagles, heading to the New York Giants. I mean, the Eagles are first place in the NFC East. They have broken away from the pack with a 3-4-1 record, and they're heading to the Giants. And it looks like they are going to be 3.5-point favorites with a very low total of 44. I actually kind of could see this going over that. It seems like a pretty low total. Eagles have got a lot of their players back. Chris, what do you think here?
I think you can go. You can attack this game either way. I mean, yeah, the Eagle. God, this is such a terrible game. Everything in the NFC East is so terrible. Like, I think you can play both of these defenses. I think you can play both of the offenses. I think you just play anybody in this game. Darius Slayton, Evan Ingram's been a little bit more active. Wayne Gallman's getting involved. Miles Sanders is a good play. Fulgham, I mean, Dallas Goedert. I don't know. I don't want to play this game. I'm not playing this game.
Yeah, and you've got Freeman probably back for the Giants, so it hurts.
Yeah, I just don't see anybody, as far as like DK is concerned, really exploding that's going to make a difference in my lineup. So I really don't think I'm going to have any exposure to this game at all.
I mean, we don't need to go too far back to look at how these two teams played the first time on Monday night, or is it Thursday night? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what day of the week it is. I mean, it's Wednesday. This was on a Thursday. It was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. But it was terrible. It was a terrible game. It's going to be a terrible game again. They should just annex the NFC East. It's terrible that one of these teams is going to win this division with like a 6-10 record or a 5-9-1 record or something just garbage like that, and they're going to get into the playoff. I don't want to watch this. I'm not excited about it. It's not a game that I'm going to target. It is a week where, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but DraftKings is running a really nice tournament, 100,000 the first, 20 max entry. So, I know a lot of us don't have the bankrolls or the desire to play 150 lineups, but, putting 20 lineups in against other people that have 20 lineups is certainly an opportunity that you have. You're typing real loud over there, Adam. Real loud.
My bad. I'll mute.
Just, wave or give us the finger if you want to add something, Adam. It's fine.
I mean, look, it's a 20 max entry. It's a huge tournament, but you're playing against other people that have that 20 max, so you have a good shot. It only is going to cost you $60 to get in there. It's a really nice tournament, I think. I don't know the payout, but from that standpoint, it's nice. So maybe if you're doing that, you get one of these game stacks in, but I don't know. Fulgham's the only guy that I think that might have a chance of sneaking into a lineup somewhere.
Yeah, I like Fulgham. I like Goddard if he's playing. I mean,
he's so expensive, though. No, yeah. I'm probably not going to play him. Goddard maybe.
Yeah, I like Goddard. I had him circled on my early list just because I don't know, the Giants suck. But I don't know. This is another one that I just thought 44 was kind of low. I feel like Philly has the ability to put up some points. Yeah, we'll see. we'll see how that goes. Moving on. How about a game we might actually be interested in watching? The LA Chargers going to Miami. 2.5-point favorites is the Dolphins. I don't know, man. The Chargers have let us down a couple of weeks in a row. The Miami's defense has been really good. Tua's been fine. Mark, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I'm really torn on this game. Justin Herbert has been playing great. He had a rough 3 quarters last week, but obviously he had to come back from behind. He scored a couple touchdowns. He almost got me there, man. I was riding him for some GPPs, and if Mike Williams catches that corner pass, I'm cashing a lot of money. But Miami's been playing pretty good in the secondary. It's the run game that they give up a lot of points to. I think this is Justin Herbert's first cross-country trip too. Yeah, I'm torn. I mean, I'm going to have a Herbert lineup in there. I don't think I'm going to have anything on the Dolphins side. But I'm not going to have the same exposure I usually have.
I'm a little shocked that the Dolphins are favored here, personally. I know the Chargers have let us down 2 weeks in a row in our best bets, but I don't know. Kind of with the Chargers plus 2.5 here. I think it's a close game. I think it could stay under that 48 or be right about there. I think that's a good spread. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, that Dolphins pass defense has really come on in the middle half of this year and beyond, and they've played well, but that rush defense has been super suspect. I don't think that Josh Jackson is set to play, so we're going to get a little Joshua Kelly. I don't know. This might be the first week that I'm not on Herbert, but I'm still on Keenan Allen, and I certainly think Mike Williams is always viable for a GPP play. On the Miami side of things, probably just kind of avoid everybody. This isn't really a game stack scenario, which is kind of weird. It could be. I mean, I don't have a problem if you want to stack this game and figure out a way to get exposure, because I don't think it's going to be highly owned. But again, like we talked about last week, that Chargers defense and that Chargers team as a whole is just involved in a lot of high-scoring games, and Miami showed that they could keep up with the Cardinals. Maybe they can, put up 30 points here, and it makes it completely viable.
Sorry, just making some notes here. I like this Miami Chargers over as well.
So what do you think, Adam? Oh, wait.
Oh, he disappeared. It's all right. It's all good. We'll see you later, Adam. Moving on, Buffalo Bills heading to the Arizona Cardinals. Man, the Bills put it to the Seahawks, didn't they? I mean, that was pretty fun to watch, especially if you played some Josh Allen. The Cardinals are actually favored by 2 in this game. 56.5. I think it's the highest over-under of the week, and yes, it is. I'm a little shocked that the Cardinals are favored. I know they're the home team, so -2, you figure that's actually kind of a draw, right? But the Bills looked fantastic last week. So, Chris, go ahead and start us off here.
Yeah, I mean, man, that situation, like, I don't understand how I had so much exposure to that game and had such a bad week. Oh, I do. All my running backs got hurt in the first play. Yeah, I think you can play both of these quarterbacks. They're both highly ranked in the model. Josh Allen tends to be a streaky quarterback and put 2 to 3 together. This Cardinals defense, which had been playing well, had some significant issues at home against the Miami team traveling with a rookie quarterback in his second game. So I certainly think Josh Allen has an opportunity to put up some big points. Kyler Murray has been like the RB12. He's quarterback, though. So definitely, if you think that Buffalo can get out and get ahead, you'll get that kind of comeback performance like you saw from Kyler Murray last week. Again, this is probably going to be one of those games that I'm going to heavily target in terms of game stacks. Going to be all over Christian Kirk, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley kind of let me down, but no, it's easy to go back to Beasley. So that's a price drop of 4,700, not of 4,700 to 4,700. So I like a lot of the pieces in this game. The other one that I think that we're going to get Reduced ownership, which is going to be nice, is going to be Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds burned a lot of people, myself included. If it wasn't David Johnson or Josh Jackson, it was Chase Edmonds and James Conner just absolutely digging the knife in and separating my ribs and taking my running back.
Running back was brutal. I mean, I'm with you, dude. I had David Johnson and I had Josh Jackson in like almost probably 70% of lineups. And so I was basically just eliminated after the first series of both those games.
Yeah, I mean, there was only 2 running backs that scored over like 17 points. And so there were a couple guys that were viable, but certainly when yours are getting like 1 and 0.5, it's not working. But yeah, he played 96% of the snaps. Had a bad game. I don't expect him to have another bad game like that. And if he's going to play 96% of the snaps, you have to go with the efficiency that he had going into that and assume that he's just going to have that.
Yeah, Mark, how about you, man? I'm on Beasley. I like Beasley a lot in this game, and Christian Kirk in this game. Back in the saddle with Chase Edmonds. Are you echoing these things, or you have a little disagreement here?
No, I'm echoing all the same thing. Beasley burned me, Edmonds burned me, but I'm going to go right back to him in this game. Kyler Murray, I'm going to be stacking him with Kirk. And, and Diggs is viable too. So
am I the only one that likes Buffalo +2?
I think that's a fine bet. I mean, Diggs at 7,500 still super. I mean, again, we talk about these double-digit target guys. He's priced kind of where he is. I think he leads the league in targets. He doesn't get double digits all the time, but his average, he doesn't get less than 7, and he gets as many as 16. So you can play Diggs no matter what the matchup is, no matter what's going on, just because he's going to get the volume.
Yeah, I love this game. This is one of the games this week that I'm really looking forward to watching.
I mean, it's clearly going to be the favorite game. It's got the highest point total by 6 of the next closest game outside of the Seattle and Rams. So,
yeah, it's just, if you're going to game stack it, it's just getting different. Everybody's going to go to Diggs, everybody's going to go to Hopkins, and I think that's why you go to Beasley and you go to Kirk. I mean, Kirk's had a couple games, so he's not a surprise, nor is Beasley, but Beasley had a bad game. Just was not targeted a lot last week. He was in a good situation, but that game script just didn't require them to drive the ball down the field with those efficient drives because they were just so far ahead. So I think this game might be a little bit different. And if it is, hopefully, Cole Beasley can be more involved. I don't think we're going to see touchdowns to McKenzie and Croft again. So maybe it's Beasley's time.
Yeah, and I like the call on Chase Edmonds too, because it seems like they didn't use him well. They just kept handing him the ball and letting him run up the gut to get tackled. Maybe they start swinging him out a little bit and give him some more room to run. So I'm going to go right back to him, and I'm hoping he'll be a little lower owned because he hurt so many people last week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go on. Let's go to Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. Denver, man, I mean, Lou was kind of right. I mean, Fant got hurt and was out, but if you had Lock and Judy, you did well. The big tournament I was playing in, that was the big winner, was Lock and Judy. Do we see them do it again against the Raiders? They're going to Las Vegas. 50.5 is the total. 5-point favorite are the Raiders. Derek Carr looked good too. What's your thoughts here, Mark? You going right back to the well here with Lock and Judy?
No.
Yeah.
I don't like them on the road. And the Raiders have been playing surprisingly well.
I mean, Denver to Vegas isn't a long trip.
I know. I kind of feel like the Broncos game last week was an anomaly. So I'm going to be leaning more towards Derek Carr here. Go back to Josh Jacobs and more plays on that side of the ball.
What you think, Chris?
I mean, I like Derek Carr. I mean, I've been touting this for a little while here. I'm just waiting for him to come back. If you go look at his game logs and you see the last time that he had 20 points, that was the last time that I wasn't on him. So that 12 and 15, that was all me. Hoping that we can return it here. I think lock's okay in this situation. This is probably my favorite game to game stack with Waller, Judy. Throw somebody else in there. This is a game that I like. Maybe a little Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, you hit on Aguilar last week.
A little Henry Ruggs. Aguilar's role in this offense, it's kind of weird. Sometimes he gets two targets. Like last week, he had 3, but one of those was a touchdown. He scored touchdowns in 4 of the last 5 games. The only game that he didn't score a touchdown was against Cleveland, and that was the wind and rain game, and he had 2 targets and no catches. So if he doesn't catch the ball, he can't get in the end zone, that's for sure. Am I right?
Yeah.
He did. He was targeted in the red zone that game, though. So
I like this game. I think people will come off a lock because he did so well last week. So I kind of like it. Going right back at it. I dig it. All right, moving on. Let's go to Cincinnati Bengals heading to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They could be without Ben Roethlisberger. He's waiting for his COVID test. 47 is the over-under here. 7.5 favorite are the Steelers. This is another game if Big Ben plays. I feel like 47 is too low. I feel like Cincinnati is acceptable. The Steelers have given up a little bit here or there. They're not as locked down as they were the first few weeks, but that could come back again because it is a rookie quarterback. And I think Mixon might play. Did I see Mixon might play?
Yeah, he might.
Yeah, so if Mixon plays, if Big Ben plays, I think 47 is a good shot to go over here. Mark, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I think this all depends on if Ben plays or not. And I'm not overly excited about this game by any means, but there's pieces to pick up here. James Conner, a good bounce back here. If Ben plays, Deontay Johnson's still a super duper value at wide receiver. And you can easily, if Mixon plays, he's an easy run back in this game.
Phil Chaplin says Ben will play. He's already tested negative twice.
Okay.
Yeah, and if Deontay Johnson can make it through the entire game without getting hurt, he's probably going to have double-digit targets. The price is built into that. If he doesn't, then you can certainly play like a Claypool or Juju, and either of those guys are good. I like the price for T. Higgins in this game. I really do, and Tyler Boyd. One of the things that we've seen from Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati offense is they're quite resilient, even in the face of decent defenses. He still had 18 points, and the team put up 27 against the Colts. Colts, as we've discussed, is a good defense. So I kind of like Cincinnati in this game as a run back, and I think this game is a really, really sneaky game stack situation that I'll probably, I'm probably going to do the 20 max. I don't know why I keep looking at my microphone. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm probably going to look at having this as a game stack 2 or 3 different ways. Just going to be super low owned. Probably is not going to do it. I don't advise it. I'm going to do it. But I also sometimes don't look, left and right when I cross the street. Sometimes you just step out in traffic and, say if it's my time, it's my time.
I dig it, man. I saw this game, and if all the pieces are there for both teams, I think 47 is a lock to go over for me. So I've made a little note there. Let's talk about Seattle Seahawks heading to the LA Rams, 55.5. This is the only other game over 50 points besides the aforementioned Buffalo Arizona game. We've got a 2-point favorite in the Rams, which is a little shocking to me. I think Seahawks have a really nice bounce back here. It's an interdivisional game. Seahawks are on the road, of course, but Seattle to LA is not a huge hike. Mark, what do you think about this one?
I kind of feel like this is going to be a Seattle revenge game. I think they're pissed off. And like you said, they don't have to travel far. The Rams defense is okay. It's above average. Don't get me wrong, but I think Seattle can score on them pretty easily. It's a matter of picking out, is it going to be Lockett? Is it going to be Metcalf? Who are you going to go here? And Goff has not been looking all that great lately. The play action isn't working as well as it did earlier in the season. So, I mean, I like a Robert Woods run back, but I really feel like Seattle's going to come and roll this game.
Mark, stop it. Seattle's defense couldn't roll anybody. Seattle may win. Seattle may put up a ton of points, but they're not going to roll anybody. They're going to give up a whole bunch of points too. I did think about a good analogy for the previous game before I go into this a little bit more. That Bengals-Steelers game is kind of like, stacking that is kind of like hopping into the passenger seat and letting your wife drive. You just let her take control and understand that some bad things are probably going to happen. Anyway, this game's a little bit more like you have some control here. Look, Seattle's terrible against the slot. I love Cooper Kupp in this situation. I love Robert Woods. I love Jared Goff. You run it back a couple different ways. I mean, if I'm running 20 lineups, I'm probably going to stack this 10 different ways and fill it in. I mean, they're going to give up points. LA scores points. Seattle scores points. And you know what, Danger? I know why you like this. Tell me why you like this.
Tell me why I like this?
Because it's a late night game. I mean,
oh, well, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I've given up on my Niners, so this is the one for me. So.
It's a strange week. We've got, 5 1 o'clock games and then 5 4 o'clock games? It's just the strangest thing in the world to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play 20 lineups. I'm going to play 20 lineups into that game, Chris, and all 20 of those are going to be 4 o'clock and after games, all of them.
I wish every week was balanced like this.
I wish it wasn't, Mark. I like 3-game slates. Okay, they're the only thing that I'm consistently, almost every time, profitable on.
I never do good on them. I never do. Yeah.
All right, well, let's finish it up, guys. We got the San Francisco 49ers heading to the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are favored by 9. The over-under is 49.5. I think this game is going to be 31-0 Saints. So I got nothing to say here. Let's move along.
Yeah, play Mike Thomas. Play what's his name? The Alvin Kamara. He's pretty good, I think. Ayuk. Debo's supposed to be back. I mean, sure.
Yeah, but also the 49ers have now lost their starting safety. So I mean, there's just nothing left, guys. There's nothing there.
Man, you win the Super Bowl and you become the Lions. The Lions just never won the Super Bowl or got to the playoffs.
Honestly, guys, I'm not that upset about how the 49ers have done this year. I mean, they're 4-5. That's 4 wins more than I thought they would have after the first week of injuries and then the COVID outbreak. You put them healthy together and maybe actually get a quarterback. And, I'm okay with them for next year, but it's next year. I don't care about them this year. Honestly, the Saints could shut them out. Their defense is very good. Their offense is very good. They're at home. The 49ers don't travel east well. This seriously could be 30-0.
Now, is this, Chris, do you feel like maybe more Kamara or Lat Murray because this might be a blowout? New Orleans looked great. To me personally, I thought New Orleans finally put the offense together with Michael Thomas back last week.
I mean, if you're betting on Latavius Murray getting 2 touchdowns, then why don't you just go play roulette or something? I mean, that's I mean, seriously, I don't know. That's something that I want to bet on. I mean, yeah, in a GPP, if I had 150 lineups, you can get some exposure there because if he hits, you're going to have some fantastic leverage. It's 4,000. He is getting those 10 to 12 carries a game, 40 to 50 yards, so a touchdown. I mean, but what does a touchdown really get you? It gets you to 11 or 12 points. It's kind of where you need. If you're going to play a 4K running back, we already talked about Mike Davis being the guy, and I don't, looking at it, man, I don't even know if you have to play Mike Davis. A lot of people are talking about him as a free square, and I get it, man, but he had 2 8-point games against the Falcons and the Saints. Now, the Saints being a good defense and the Falcons being a bad defense, so I don't know.
Phil Chaplin is asking us, what are our thoughts on Cooper Kupp this week?
I love Cooper Kupp. I mean, the primary reason that I wanted to go to Cole Beasley last week was the Seahawks are the worst team at defending the slot. Cooper Kupp finds himself in the slot a lot, right? And he's a good play. He's a good play. And if you're looking at the two of them, him or Robert Woods, You're looking at Cooper Kupp being just slightly more expensive. I suspect he'll have a little bit less ownership as a result. And the dude had 20 targets the last time they played. That's fucking incredible. I didn't even know that. Well, they played 95 snaps. That's why.
Yeah. He's also going to be heavily owned, but screw it. Eat the chalk.
Yeah,
eat the chalk. Anybody against Seattle, eat the
there's
chalk.
some chalk you have to eat.
Yeah. 100%. All right, guys, that was it. Any other spotlights you want to hit?
Nope.
All right. Well, let's do us ourselves a favor. And Mark, if you can pull the banner up, if you're just burnt out on DFS and playing on DraftKings and FanDuels, and you just want to give something else a try, why don't you head on over to prizepicks.com. You can sign up for their fantasy game. It's a little different over there. They give you a selection of plays, and you can play 2, 3, or 4 players in a parlay style pick where they give you a projection of fantasy points, which is kind of standard PPR fantasy points. And you pick whether they're going to go over or under them. We've got the Thursday night special. We've got Tennessee and Indianapolis. So let's talk about it. Standard scoring, basically. So you follow along, guys. 16.6 for Phillip Rivers. 16.6. What do you think about that? That's, what is that? 2 touchdowns and 200 yards?
I'm going to go under.
My first instinct is to go over because Tennessee has been bad against the wide receivers, but they have picked up a new cornerback. So, yeah, man. I mean, you only get -1 for an interception. Let me go back and look.
Is it a PPR?
Interceptions, only -1. Yeah, -1. So 4 point per touchdown pass and -1 per interception. So could you see him going 250 and 2 touchdowns and an interception? Because that gets him there.
Yeah. I think you could see him getting there.
So I'm going to go over on Rivers. You're going to go under, Mark.
I'll stay under.
Ryan Tannehill, 18 points, slightly better than Rivers. Indianapolis' defense has been excellent. I'm kind of on the Henry train this week, so I think Tannehill could go under.
I agree.
I'm going to go over.
I like it. All right, Jonathan Taylor, 10.5. I'm not convinced he's even the starting running back, but 10.5 isn't hard. He does.
The only person that thinks of Jonathan Taylor Thomas when we talk about Jonathan Taylor.
No, 100%. 100%. Tool time. Yeah, man. I'm with you. 10.5. I have to go under because I just don't know that it's his backfield, man. They've been really favoring Wilkins. They could burn me, but I mean, there's a 50-50 shot. It's not Taylor in the starting role, right?
That's true.
Well, and Hines is getting all the touchdowns, so.
Yeah, so I'm under even on 10.5, but if you expect Taylor to bounce back and get the lead, I mean, you can certainly go over that. 10.5 is very low, but I don't know that he gets enough touches, so I'm out. Derrick Henry, 18, Mark, 18.
That's a tough one.
That's a big one. To put that in perspective, that's we'll call it 1 touchdown, which is 6. We'll call it 80 yards, which is 14 there. And so that's 2 catches for 20. So 80 yards, 2 catches for 20, and a touchdown. I mean, when you talk about it that way.
He doesn't catch the ball at all.
But he does catch the ball. He catches 1 or 2 balls a game.
I'm going to say that Indianapolis shuts down the passing game, and they have to rely on Derrick Henry. So
yeah, I'm on Henry this week. Henry's my boy in this game. I'm going over on 18.
Go over. I'm here.
I like it. Zach Pascal, 9.
Under.
Yeah, I have to go under.
It's a TY week. So
yeah.
AJ Brown, 15.6.
Over. Always over. AJ Brown's always over. What do you think?
I mean, he scores a touchdown
I'm going
a game.
under.
He scores a touchdown a game. I'm over. I'm with you, Chris. Oh. Corey Davis, 11.4, though. 11.4 Corey Davis.
I'm going to go under.
You can't go over Henry, over Brown, and over Davis. I think somebody's got to go under, so it's Davis for me.
I'm going to go over on Davis.
Ooh. Michael Pittman, 8. I think I'm an under. I think he's an afterthought.
But he wouldn't like to hear that. Sure. Yeah, I agree. That he's going to go under. Not that he's an afterthought. He's a great guy.
Yeah, under.
My main man, Mo Alley Cox, 6.4. I like the over here. I think it's the Mo Alley and T-Way show. 6.4 is easy.
Under.
Three catches, 35 yards. That's all it is. 3 catches, 35 yards.
Gotta go under.
All right, Jonnu Smith, 7.5.
Under.
I'm actually gonna take the over. 7.5 ain't bad.
They don't even know he's on the team anymore.
Yeah, and Indianapolis is
He scored a touchdown last
tight
week.
end. I think Indy's number 1 against the tight end in the league. And then who cares about the rest? Kickers, I generally go over just because, and then I don't play defense, but there are defensive guys in there. If you guys are IDP players and you like to look at tackles and interceptions and whatnots, you can look at those. But please don't forget, if you sign up for a new account, please type in Blueprint as your promotional code. It will get you 100% deposit bonus up to $100, and we'll give you a high five virtually. High five. All right, we appreciate you. That's all I got for you guys. Anything else? Any thoughts about life, Chris? How's life right now?
Man, you know what's coming out on Friday?
What's that?
Call of Duty Cold War.
Yeah.
So
what are you getting that on?
Computer.
PC? All right. I got to get this gaming computer so I can play with you then, right?
Yep. I'm going to
get that's what my kid wants to play.
But we can play. You can play crossplay.
Yeah.
For the Warzone.
That's the exact game my kid wants to buy this gaming computer for.
I mean, we talked about how much money is in gaming and stuff. Like,
it's too late for him though. He's like 17, man. It's too late for him.
Not for a streaming career. Is he an entertaining person?
No, he's dry as a bone. Yeah, not good. Now my 7-year-old, we got to get him in. That 7-year-old, he's got to get in training now. It's time. I already got him playing Clash Royale, which has a professional league. So
my buddy who builds the PCs and liked one of the shares here. How old is his kid now? Probably when he was like 3, he'd be playing games. He'd just be raging at the games. You could hear him in the background.
Oh, dude,
raging. You
should see my 4-year-old play Mario Maker 2, man. He kicks things, throws tables over. It's hilarious. So. He's the one I got to get going. I downloaded Rocket League on the Switch too. The guys are into that now, so I get the younger ones into the game. So awesome. How about you, Mark, man? How's life on the farm? You settling back into Michigan?
Yeah, it was a little shocking to go from 72 degrees to 35 degrees today.
Right? Gotta love overnight stays in Michigan. Yeah. I went to bed with the fan on and every window in the house open and woke up like an absolute blue icicle. It was amazing.
But yeah, we're hanging in there. Just hoping this Pfizer drug pans out and we can get some vaccines rolling.
I dig it. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Please don't forget to check out our paid content on fantasyfootballblueprint.com. You can catch all of our stuff there. And, of course, the most important hour of your week is First Sip, Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. You can't win without it. So I don't know what you're doing if you're not joining us on Sunday morning. So do it. For Johnny Danger and Mark and Chris, I'm also Johnny Danger. We'll see you Sunday morning.
See ya.